going on, Aquarius? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your reading for the month of May 2024. So in this reading, Aquarius, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy for the month. We're going to take a look at some things you do not see coming. We're also going to get some advice from your angels and spirit guides for you, and so much more regarding the month of May 2024, Aquarius. So thank you so much for being here. As always, I really do appreciate you for taking the time to check this reading out. And if this general reading does resonate with you, Aquarius, definitely smash that like button. Subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. I would also really appreciate that over here. So without further ado, I am going to pull the energy for you, and we'll see what's coming your way here for May 2024. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Aquarius. Alright, Aquarius, let's go ahead and get into this reading. Before we get into the tarot, we are going to start this reading off with some pre-shuffled oracle cards for you. And these oracle cards contain the energy that Spirit wants you to embody. Spirit wants you to be in this energy for your own highest good here in May. So let me show you them in successive order, then we'll talk about it. You have the 9th house of learning, faith, the higher mind, and long-distance travel. You have Neptune, the planet Neptune, of spirit and compassion and dreams. And you also have Capricorn, the boss. All right, and even based on the spread here and the feeling that I'm getting is a lot of your old philosophies might feel like they're dissolving right now. You know, there's a big opportunity for you, Aquarius, in May to really expand, you know, your sense of what you consider to be spiritual. And even if that's just your beliefs and what you believe is around you spiritually here, I feel like that's really expanding. But for many of you, it will be expanding in sort of a disturbing way, if I'm being honest, and not a complete disturbing way, but it's almost like, you know, you're going to brush up against some resistance that's going to push you into expanding your mind here. And, you know, you have Neptune and Capricorn as a combination that you need more of. And that's definitely a certain level of grounded spirituality. It's funny because my Neptune is in Capricorn in my horoscope birth chart, so I know all about it. And, you know, it's like it gives structure to spirituality. And I feel like that's a really, you know, something you're really good at naturally as Aquarius, being ruled by Uranus. People give me crap about how I say it. I'm just trying not to say Uranus. Okay, so Uranus and Saturn co-rule Aquarius, and so you have that way to really make spirituality and things that are out there seem grounded. But you know, I feel there's this quote, or not even a quote, coming into my mind of like, this is not an experiment. You know, there's something coming to my mind, Aquarius, that you need to hear about May, that depending on how seriously or unseriously you take spirituality and philosophies to be, it determines the corresponding result that you get. So, you know, I feel like maybe some of you, there's something here that's coming up where you're going to have to test a philosophy to see if it is real or not. Because otherwise, you know, there's something here about needing to expand your sense of spirituality. And Neptune, you know, it's the planet of compassion, but it also dissolves whatever it touches. And I feel here with Neptune dissolving the ninth house of learning and faith and Capricorn, whatever your definition of spirituality is like, almost like dissolving. And so you're going to have to, really trust your gut to really go with something new, or to expand your mind here, I feel. And, there's a quote, now there's a weird quote coming to my mind that someone who blames Neptune unjustly twice suffers shipwreck. And that's a really weird quote to say here. But all I can say is definitely it can be a time where your belief systems about spirituality, what it even is dissolving. And I do feel this has to do with Pluto moving out of Capricorn into your sign of Aquarius, where it is now, because there's going to be a big power shift where people that wrote the rules, it's changing, and you're going to be the one to write the rules. So, people think that I'm just kind of giving some nice quotes on this channel, but like, I'm not messing. Like, this is like Bashar. This is not an experiment. Like, I remember, I'll give this example, then we'll get into the tarot, but I give this example all the time of when I was in college and I was like really on the fence of whether I wanted to drop out or not. I ended up dropping out, but the reason why I did is because I wanted to test if the law of attraction and my spiritual philosophies were true or untrue. Because I was sitting there in a classroom I didn't want to be in, full of people that had a completely different mindset than me for the most part, and I was like, wait, okay, if the law of attraction is real, then why am I here? If my beliefs are real, then this is BS, because everyone has a certain belief, in college. I'm not saying everyone's the same, but I'm saying that I basically made the choice to drop out of college and prove to myself that the law of attraction is real, okay, amongst other philosophies that I've also proven to myself is real. And so I feel like the reason I'm saying that is because there's something going on here to where that might benefit you very much so. Because or else, I feel like there's this energy where if you kind of just like dabble with certain, your own sense of faith, your own sense of spirituality, there needs to be proof that it's real. And sometimes the only way that you're going to prove it's real is by actually taking action and seeing if it can produce results or not. Because I do feel that, some of you are holding on to but outdated philosophies, outdated views on spirituality and compassion that are dissolving. And, I like the Aquarian approach of being, Aquarius gets a bad rap because people say, Aquarius is so smart, but you're so bad at relationships, you know what I mean? But people don't understand the function that you're here to serve. It's like if a child is running across the street and going to get hit by a car, and you're like, oh, hey, can you please come over here? No, you're going to be like Aquarius, you're going to freaking yank their arm. It's such like quick, serious Saturn-Uranus, right? And that's something that you need to do like right now here, to where you may have to like kind of like coldly, as like if it's an experiment with your spirituality. Like, is this BS? Is this real? Like, what have we been told is real? What is actually real? But I'm saying that, Aquarius gets a bad rap because people think you're a little bit detached, cold in some sort of way, but that's actually your function, right? It benefits the child to yank them out of the street instead of to calmly say, hey, please come over here. So I feel like I was going somewhere else with that. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the tarot, and then okay, so your opportunity is the Queen of Cups here, Aquarius. And with this being your opportunity, I definitely feel like this is a time where you need to have, or there's an opportunity to have unconditional love for yourself and other people around you. All right, because there can be a real clash in your life of belief systems or what is real. People might be around you fighting for the truth. You might be saying, what is the truth? I need to fight for it. And I feel like underlying all this, you need to remain at least in touch with your motherly instinct. Even if you're a man, this could also be a woman, a water sign coming in for you, Aquarius. But I feel like this is about maintaining the love above all else. As you go through this transition period of deep reflection and your belief systems, philosophies, idea of what life is starts to feel shaky, just extend love to yourself and others here is what I really feel. Unconditional love, knowing that people are just doing the best from where they are. All right. Now, it's interesting to me that your challenge is the Star, and that's Aquarius energy, so this is you. But the star in tarot has to do with regeneration, healing, and it's a time of renewal. If you look at the patterns of life, it's really about decay and renewal, and your challenge is to renew yourself here, especially with things having to do with Neptune, the 9th house in Capricorn. Many of you that choose to hold on to your ideas, your higher mind ideas about what spirit is, how it should be implemented in your life, and you hold on to those beliefs out of fear rather than experimenting to see what is true, I do feel that this is going to be a rougher time for you than those of you who are at least open to swapping and experimenting. And, I always say that variability is the world's most fundamental quality. All right? I used to be someone who was on a tirade trying to convince people of the truth. Right, of the truth, and ultimately I've found that the more effective route is to just convince yourself of a truth and see if it works or not, and don't try to explain your philosophy, embody it. And I feel like for you, maybe you're trying to figure out what that is and how it works. But some of you definitely, I feel like there could be this attachment to unconditional love for some of you as well, because the Queen of Cups is your opportunity is to look at your relationship to the Ceres frequency, the unconditional nurturer frequency here. And I feel like maybe some of you are attached to nurturing people in a certain spiritual way that may not be in alignment with the function of the cold Aquarius yanking the kid out of the street because it's necessary. And like that metaphor, what I didn't say before, should really be applied to the function that you came here to serve as an Aquarius, which is, yeah, people are going to give you a bad rap because you're cold, detached, you're like a scientific experimenter, innovative genius, but, the world is the kid in the street whose arm needs to be yanked. If we do not get a grip on things here, in kind of a real way, Capricorn, Neptune, then it's going to go real. If we just let the kid walk the street, he's going to get hit. Gonna get hit by the car, and that's like all of us. It's a greater analogy here. Okay, so your overall general energy here is the 9 of Wands, and I feel like that's similar to the 9th house, the Sagittarius. You have the number 9, you have the fire element. The 9 of Wands has to do with unfinished business or wounding. You have the 8 of Cups here, which is about walking away from an emotional situation that doesn't feel good anymore, even though you don't really know where the hell you're going. You're just, you're not satisfied in this area anymore. And then you have the Hermit. This is Virgo energy, and this is very deep, reflective, quiet, still, and it's someone who lets truth marinate. It's someone who really thinks deeply before they act, and they retreat into themselves. And so I feel like, this month for you, there's definitely a dissolving of your old issues, especially as it relates to the 9th house and Neptune. And I feel like it could be a month where you're going to have to really rethink everything, for the benefit of yourself and other people. Now, this sounds a little bit, kind of just like vague, I guess you could say. But I really feel like if you think deeply about what I'm saying, you can apply it to your life in a way that makes sense to you, Aquarius, because, it's almost like you could be in a void kind of frequency here. You could be really fighting, what is my truth? What should happen here? You know what I mean? But, everything happens at the right time, and there's definitely a lot of things dissolving, but I feel like your challenge is the renewal. Like things are dissolving right now, but it's almost like you don't know what to replace it with for some of you here. Now, for some of you, this is about a relationship, and for some of you, this Queen of Cups in your opportunity is either to receive or to give unconditional love to someone. And because the star is here in your challenge, it might be a past person that you have unfinished business with that you need to heal. And it might not get all worked out this month, but it's definitely something that's in the works, I feel, like a very key relationship for you. So take it as it resonates, leave what doesn't. Let's go ahead to go to what you don't see coming, Aquarius. What you don't see coming, you have the 7 of Wands, you have the 4 of Cups, and you have the Queen of Swords here. So this is definitely, this is an energy of saying no right off the bat. I mean, really all three of them is a rather closed off energy here, so in what you don't see coming. So, there can be a new idea, there can be new spiritual downloads coming to you that someone around you or you are very resistant to at this time. The Seven of Wands is about defending yourself, putting up a boundary, and it's all about asking yourself what's worth fighting for. The Four of Cups here is about emotional apathy, not taking the bait. That can lead to emotional stability, because the Four of Cups, number 4, has to do with stability, law, and order. The cups have to do with emotion. So, not really exploring a love offer, or not really exploring an emotional truth about what spirituality is, whatever this is for you, it offers you stability, but I feel that with the Star in your challenge, it's going to lead to stagnation, because your challenge is all about renewal and healing. And, so whether this has to do with a person or just your own stuff going on, you can use your intuition to apply it here. Now, for some of you, I do feel like there's this thing of, if you never try, you never know. Like there could be something here where, once again, nothing is really going to click until you decide to be the scientific Aquarius and experiment with it in real time. Okay? Because we're in uncharted territory. Pluto is in Aquarius. Pluto represents power. Pluto represents psychology. It represents, transformation. And you are an Aquarius, so it's up to you to be the pioneer, to lead people through this. So you're going to be have to be the one toiling. You're going to have to be the one yanking people out of the street, and people call you cold. But then in your advice here, it gets more spiritual and more interesting here, Aquarius. I do want to say as well, though, in what you don't see coming, there can be the idea of sort of like a rejection of someone here, especially if, this Star, whether this has to do with someone that you want to put something right with, there can definitely be in May the feeling of someone being very closed off in a relational sense. And I feel like maybe that's happening for a deeper reason here. But let's go to your advice, right? Your advice is... Okay, let's go to your advice here. Your advice is the Hanged Man, the Strength card, and also the Ace of Pentacles here. All right, and the Hanged Man card is all about, you're caught in a suspended state. And the strength, and that's what I've been telling you, it's okay. It's okay to let your ideas of the higher mind dissolve so that, you take your time for something real to come and replace it. The Strength card has to do with merging the higher self and the animalistic self. It has to do with moving through a difficult situation with grace and harmony, even if it is very challenging here. And then you have the Ace of Pentacles, which is all about a new physical beginning that Spirit is advising you to do here. Now, for some of you, I feel that you're surrendering to the feelings that you actually have for someone. Because the Queen of Cups in your opportunity, Aquarius, is to either extend or receive unconditional love. You have the Star in your challenge. So despite the fact there being, in what you don't see coming, a lot of closed energy, this might be you. Some of you really have feelings for someone that you might, for a long time in May, you're going to be debating with it, closed down. This may have to do with your spiritual beliefs dissolving in some sort of way. There may be someone new that you're linking up with that is very expansive, that's going to break your philosophy, that you can link up with here. They may have Capricorn in their chart. And, with this energy, I feel that many of you, the opportunity to have the Queen of Cups here is to have unconditional love for yourself as you make this transition, basically. But many of you might, be resisting your feelings for someone because maybe it doesn't make sense. The relationship doesn't make sense to your logical mind here in some sort of way, I feel. And, the 9th house and Capricorn is kind of like Capricorn is old energy, like old head energy. So there might be some sort of age gap here in a relationship for some of you, not for all of you. So let's go ahead and move on to the clarification portion of this reading, Aquarius, and see what we got going on here for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and clarify. Let's go ahead and clarify the Queen of Cups in your opportunity, because for some of you, this is definitely about a relationship that someone has a lot of resistance to, even though there's a lot of unconditional love, and there may be a belief or philosophy about life separating you from someone at this time. Let's see. Why is the Queen of Cups in your opportunity? Queen of Cups in your opportunity is clarified by the Page of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, there's definitely something that's up in the air, right now. This could have to do with your work and what you want to do with it, because Neptune and Capricorn, like I say, the energy you need more of is to ground something spiritual, to make it real. And sometimes the only way you can do that is through your own experience and through experiment. But for others of you that have a philosophy that is so set, there could be something about you really going with that and being, this is not an experiment. You know what I mean? But it still could be changing here, because the Page of Pentacles is all about the first step in the physical journey. It's about a youthful person who is kind of just doing the dirty work, getting going on something. And the Two of Pentacles is all about juggling. It's like the Gemini dual mind, and it's things are up in the air. And what did I say? It's okay for that to be there, right? It's okay for you to not have a set, belief system about what is spirituality. Where do I want to put my higher mind? How can I ground that if I don't even know what it is? Right now, this is a time of shakeups to that. And so you just have to have unconditional love here as well. Now, for some of you, there could also be someone that you're considering working with, or this could even be the relationship thing, where maybe you view them as immature in some sort of way, like the Page of Pentacles, immature energy, with the Queen of Cups kind of nurturing that. So whether you're nurturing that within yourself or someone else here, it's definitely an interesting opportunity. Let's go ahead and clarify why the Nine of Wands is here, because this is the first card that stood out to me. And it related to me the ninth house of learning, faith, long distance travel. But there's something that may be really bothering you right now. So let's see what it is in May 2024. I feel like many of you are hold on. That's a lot of energy here. That is a lot of energy. Well, for some of you, there's definitely an ending with a earth sign that you once thought you could have got married to, because this person is wounded psychologically. The Nine of Wands, firstly, is I wasn't going to take these, but I just got it. The Nine of Wands is clarified by the King of Pentacles in reverse, the Ten of Swords in reverse, the Ten of Cups in reverse, the Nine of Wands in reverse, and the King of Swords in reverse. So a lot of you, this is about an interpersonal thing. Like I said, there's something about who is the boss spiritually, or there could just be someone that you're not, who has a very wounded mindset here that you're going to painfully choose to disconnect from ultimately here, because it's been staggering here. So, but for others of you, there could be something about the old spiritual paradigm dissolving, and you're the one who's going to take it forward now. So you're going to be the boss of it. You are going to be a spiritual authority now going forward, is what I feel with Pluto and Aquarius. But then the main cards that I wanted to pull here that jumped out, the Nine of Wands is clarified by the Sun and the Death card here. So there's a lot of clarity about an ending, transformation. The Death card is a spiritual ending here. The Sun brings warmth, clarity. So, there's almost something you don't want to let go of is fully ending for you now. So whether this is a relationship with someone who your belief systems, your mindset are totally different at this point, and it's hard for you to let go, but you are going to let go, or this has to do with your own unfinished business with spirituality, and your philosophy is dissolving here. And I feel like that's what it is for many of you is here, for sure. So, like I said, you don't have to have it all figured out overnight this month, but just at least be open here, because I feel like there's going to be an obvious reality check for many of you that this is not working for me anymore. And for many of you, I feel like maybe I kind of misread this for some of you, where I'm kind of thinking that you're thinking, I have to get rid of this belief system because I don't believe it anymore. It may just be something that you still believe in spiritually, and it's just not really relevant for you anymore. So it's not that you're disregarding everything that you've learned up until this point, or you're disregarding your main philosophy. It's almost like there's something more that needs to be added to it in a certain way here. And Neptune Capricorn likes to bring structure and order to things. And that can be really challenging for you at this time, because things are clearly dissolving and changing here. Spirit definitely wants you to have compassion with the Queen of Cups in your opportunity for whatever belief system people decide to choose, and then maybe just disconnect yourself if it doesn't align with you here. Let's clarify that Hermit. Why is the Hermit here in your overall general energy? Could be connecting with a Virgo as a result of all this. Yeah, Knight of Wands. Knight of Swords. Wow. Okay. So here's the thing. You know, some of you here, it's not going to take you very long. For some of you, what this is about, Aquarius, what I'm sensing for a lot of you, is you're going to quickly allow whatever is dissolving that's no longer working to dissolve, and you're going to actually be able to move forward very quickly. You have two knights here. These are very, these are both the masculine knights. The Knight of Wands is all about fun and enthusiasm, kind of like hyping yourself up, also indicates travel. And the Knight of Swords here has to do with speed, not really overthinking things and just going forward. And then you have the Ace of Pentacles, which is a new physical beginning, a new physical offer. So as a result of you going within and either thinking about whether or not you want to move forward with someone in a relationship, or this is about your own spiritual beliefs or a combination, things are going to pick up for you by the end of the month very fast. And so by the end of the month here, Aquarius, you're going to be moving. This whole period of like the dissolving and sitting in a void will be over for most of you. Okay, if you play our cards right now. For many of you, this has to do with you and someone just that are on the same page. You know, there can be a lot of similarities here, or there can be a team forming around you. You know, two knights running right into each other, and you have the Ace of Pentacles here. You also have the Ace of Pentacles in the same row in your overall general energy and in your advice. So, you know, looking at the spread, if I was reading it for myself, I would be saying I need to figure a lot of stuff out, and then by like the end of the month, you'll be ready to make a decision. For some of you, this is going to be a new person coming in that you didn't expect. For some of you, this is going to be a lot of you, this is going to be an existing person that you're going to decide to move forward with. Okay, but there's a lot of resistance to that whole thing. Like I say, you know, in what you don't see coming. So before we get there, I want to clarify the star. Why is the star your challenge? Now, the star also has to do with being like a literal star, and it can have to do with getting attention here. So maybe some of you are, maybe, okay, I don't know. Let's see. Why is the star here in your challenge? King of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. All right. So this is definitely so the star here is clarified by the King of Pentacles, the Emperor, and also the Four of Pentacles here when it comes to your challenge. All right. So for many of you, I feel like this is a person here. There could even be multiple people that you got going on at the same time. You know, certain relationships dissolving, other relationships healing for you. For many of you, your challenge is that you're going to try to renew something that you think will bring you stability that it won't. Here, I really feel. For others of you, though, Aquarius, I do feel that, I don't know, this double knight thing could be indicated by this energy as well. I feel like there's something coming your way that, you know, it's going to heal you, but it might be challenging in some sort of way here. The Four of Pentacles has to do with stability. And with that being in your challenge, you might feel a lack of that. I feel like some of you here, once again, it's like, who is the boss spiritually? Or who am I going to trust spiritually? I feel like it's going to be a hard time for you to go with that. You know, you may be kind of like having all these individual downloads, and then there's people that represent these themes that you can link up, you know. But if it's not to do with people, then it's your own mindset and your ability to ground spirituality and to feel solid is changing. So, you know, as you change out these beliefs, as you let Neptune dissolve this, you know, it might be really hard for you to like fully commit yourself to a new path, because it just seems like, is this even real or not? But what does this go back to? Experimentation. You're going to have to experiment here. You know, I really feel that. So, hold on, let's just reset. All right. So, for some of you, this definitely has to do with a weird situation involving two different people. I do feel that here, Aquarius. This is Aries energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, man energy. If you're a man and listening to this, you're interested in women, it can be reversed. Gender doesn't really matter. It's all about the energy. So use your intuition. But, this definitely could be a little bit of an interesting, tricky situation, especially because the Queen of Cups is your opportunity, and then you also have the Two of Pentacles as your opportunity, which is kind of like, and then you have in your challenge two people, and then you have stability. So there could be, whether this just represents people, for many of you it will, that are like different. It's almost like you're going to have to go through something here. So let's just clarify, Aquarius, why the Queen of Swords is here in what you don't see coming. Queen of Swords and what you don't see coming is clarified by the Devil and also the Knight of Pentacles here. So for some of you here, the Devil is once again Capricorn energy. There's so much Capricorn energy. It is the energy that you need more of, ironically. And then the Knight of Pentacles is all about slow-moving energy here. For some of you, I feel like you're going to put up a boundary with someone. You're going to close yourself off because that's what this is all about. You have the Queen of Cups, the Seven of Wands, the Four of Cups. That's all about closed rejection. You stay over there. The Devil is either Capricorn or toxic energy. And I feel like there can be someone here from your past or someone in general that you feel is like moving to at a really slow pace that is not working for you anymore. Okay. Now, many of you also could be really closing yourself off to a certain philosophy that you feel is toxic, because once again, you have Neptune, the 9th house. There could be something with that I sense here, Aquarius. Many of you are going to be upset because it feels like you're being tortured in like a slow decision-making process, or experimentation process here. But for some of you, I feel like there can also be someone around you that you're dealing with that has a very toxically closed mindset, or they're too earthy here. And, I do feel like it's interesting that the energy that you need more of is Neptune and Capricorn. And on the one hand, that brings structure to the spirituality. But on the other hand here, I feel like for a lot of you, this is Spirit warning you of the Capricorn energy. Pluto is in Capricorn. It's dissolving. So whoever has an authority or whoever has had an authority over you in the spiritual realm, it's not going to hold as much weight anymore. I really feel like, so it's like, it's up to you, Aquarius. You're a very important piece to this puzzle right now. Let's just get your advice though. So let's clarify that Hanged Man in your advice, because this is definitely about surrendering to some sort of new beginning. Let's see. A temporary moment of enlightenment. I do feel as well like you might get hit like a ton of bricks with clarity by the end of the month. I really feel that. For many of you, you're going to have like a temporary moment of enlightenment towards the end of the month. I feel that. So let's see why the Hanged Man is here for you and your advice from Spirit. Nine of Cups, Page of Cups, Two of Swords here. That's interesting. I do feel like, there could be, I don't know, the Page of Cups to the Two of Swords is kind of like, this energy is all about someone being closed down. The Page of Cups is a very idealistic individual who could be a little bit gullible or not really know what's fully going on, or just like very pleasant energy, but it's not really realistic. Then you have the Nine of Cups here, which has to do with, independence, emotional independence, emotional completion, and also happiness here. So I feel like, something that you maybe once naively brought you or someone around you happiness, I feel like the opportunity here is to look at that from a different perspective. I know I butchered that one here, Aquarius, to a certain degree, but I really feel like there's something here about, maybe it's like a belief system that made you feel good or made someone else feel good around you is now dissolving. This could also just be a relationship that you have with someone that you perceive to be selfish, that you might be surrendering here in some sort of way. Now, there could also be the idea that some of you are very closed down to something that would make you happy, that Spirit's advising you to look at. Spirit's advising you to look at, like, what are you not open to that would bring you joy and synchronicity and happiness. And it might have to do with shedding a lot of these philosophies, a lot of these beliefs about, Neptune, dream, spirit, compassion. Some of you as well, I feel like you could be surrendering your compassion for someone as well. I said it's really important for you to have unconditional love, but sometimes we don't know what that looks like, right? It's like, okay, if a child is walking into the street, they're going to get hit by a car, you're going to yank their freaking arm and be like, I just saved your life, right? It's not about being a martyr savior here, but it's about saving yourself. You can't save anyone else, you can save yourself. Now, I just disproved that because I said you could save the kid in the street. So what am I saying? Well, maybe there's a manifestation of your beliefs dissolving. But what I'm trying to say here, Aquarius, is like, I feel like there is you surrendering your unconditional love for immature people and people who put themselves first. And I feel like that's what this is all about. The 9th house, Neptune, Capricorn. There could be a Capricorn around you, Aquarius, that you just view as like, your belief system is going to keep you stuck in a slow cycle. And maybe you once had compassion for that, but now you just don't. And it doesn't have to be a Capricorn. It could be any type of figure who is so sure of themselves, even though there's some sort of toxicity going on here. And maybe there's trust issues that you're working through as well in some sort of way. Now, let's just clarify the Strength card. Then we're going to do the Ace of Pentacles. Why is the Strength card in your advice? It's also Leo energy. Wow. Yeah, the Strength card is clarified by the World and the Ace of Wands here in your advice. So, this is definitely about a new beginning and a completion and you having the strength to do what is exciting to you. Now, like I said, now that the cycle is closing out for you and this month it seems to be all about changing, expanding your idea of spirituality, expanding of your idea of how can I ground that. It might require some sort of strength to experiment as well, because as one door closes, another one opens. But the World card indicates a gift, a spiritual gift that you have. And I like to see a major arcana being clarified by a major arcana and then a ace. That's just like your advice is to maybe not think too practically here, but there can also be a upgraded relationship coming in for some of you that Spirit's advising you to go forward with, that is going to require you to really balance out the higher versus the animalistic self here. Your challenge is the Star, clarified by the Emperor, the King of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles. Use your intuition. For some of you, that's a relationship dissolving. For some of you, that is a relationship with someone who maybe is strong, that is beginning. And for some of you, simultaneous, right? So let's clarify the Ace of Pentacles as your final piece of advice. This is a big piece of advice because you also have the Ace of Pentacles in your overall general energy, which kind of indicates that this physical beginning is going to happen. It's just, as the energy reads, it's going to happen by the end of the month. So you might as well be like prepared for it. Why is the Ace of Pentacles here? That's too many cards. All right, well, that's not. It kind of is, though. It's still too many cards. I mean, I feel like there's going to be a lot of potential faith that is required for you to really move forward with this opportunity. Let's see. What is this? Well, ironically clarified by the Strength card, like I just said. Why is the Ace of... Alright. The Ace of Pentacles is clarified by the King of Swords in reverse, the Hanged Man, and the Lovers here. Wow. Yeah, so, wow. Yeah, the Ace of Pentacles is clarified by 3 major arcana cards here, which has to do with your spiritual life here. Surrendering the Hanged Man. Lovers is about a choice in relationship, could indicate soulmate here. And you have the Strength card. So, you also have the King of Swords in reverse, which may indicate that your own like logic or may have to go out the window. You may have to really experiment to actually be confident in your logic here. But for many of you, this is definitely a new I feel like it's a relationship for many of you, but for many of you not interested in relationships, then this is you surrendering to have faith. The universe trusts you to have a new physical beginning here. But either way, there's going to be a lot of... Here's a summary. A lot of things are changing in your life. You're probably not going to have too much clarity by at least May 15th. By late May, there's going to be a lot of clarity, but it's still not going to feel like, oh, this is 100% set. You're going to have to be a pioneer, and this has to do with people, making judgments about people in your life right now. So yeah, this is what I got for you here, Aquarius. I do feel like it's going to be a very interesting month for you, but just don't be closed-minded is what I would say. So with that being said, I'll talk to you next.